Hello. It's been a while. It's Dr. Victoria Baldwin here. How are you? It's been a while. I've have a lot going on and I wanted to give you an update. So, what am I up to? If you're curious to know what I've been up to, or you want to know how to continue seeing me as a naturopathic doctor, or maybe you want to know what I'm working on, this is the video for you. So yes, I'm a naturopathic doctor. I always will be. The difference is I switched where I'm working. So instead of traveling to two remote locations, one in Winkler and one in Stonewall, I've consolidated my practice to East St. Paul, just outside the perimeter, just a little bit down Henderson Highway. Super easy to find me. I switched the practice location, but I'm still offering naturopathic consults, blood work, hormone balancing, fatigue, energy, remedies, acupuncture, and all of the good stuff that you've always known me for. I am also still direct billing to insurance and helping patients that way. My practice is also online, so virtual visits can be booked with using the exact same booking link you've always used. Now, the clinic I'm working out of right now is called Harmony Chiropractic, and the reception there can also help you. There's a booking link that's different than my old one. However, it's still pretty straightforward, and you can also give a call, and a receptionist will help you out. I'm working on something new. You know, I'm just finishing up 9 years in private practice, and I've worked with a lot of patients. My practice took me to many uh, different cases, different types of people, different goals, and I've truly learned so much from each and every one of you. Um, it's called a practice for a reason. You never finished, you never completely master it. However, I have noticed there is one thing that impacts a holistic health plan the most. And it's undeniable. I see it over and over and over again. The fastest results, the deepest healing happens from one thing. And that thing is what we consume. I'm breaking that down into two categories. It's what we feed our bodies, and it's what we feed our minds. These two things make such a dramatic shift in somebody's healthcare plan. As you know me, I love traditional Chinese medicine. It goes back over 2,500 years old. They think it could be as old as 5,000 years. There's just no proof that it is that old. It's one of the oldest forms of medicine on this planet that's still used in hospitals in China to this day. It is one of my favorite tools to use, and it works on a very different philosophy than Western medicine. And I have to say, if something's persisted over this long of a time period, there's got to be something to it. Modern medicine is not very old in comparison. So in traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, it talks about how our disharmonies or our disease patterns are rooted in energy flow and the lack of flow. When energy is stuck, that's when a pathology or disharmony or some physical problem shows up. Now, I want you to think about emotions. Emotions is energy in motion. And emotional patterns like chronic anger or sadness or fear, worry, oh my gosh, worry, um, create changes into that flow of energy. Not only that, our diet and our lifestyles, our behaviors, okay, and how we do life really impacts how our energy is flowing. Now, I've done some deep diving and I've gotten extra training in the workings of the mind using more tools, and I have been blown away with the results that people are getting using them. The stuck energy is happening from our thoughts, what we focus on, right? So if we're focusing on things that make us feel worried or feel anger, it has a pattern in the body. Now, in Chinese medicine, chronic anger is correlated with muscle tension. Now, think for a moment. What is somebody's posture or behavior when they're angry? What is their body language? Tension, right? They're tensing up. And this shows up into the conscious awareness as muscle tension. I've got a tight neck or chronic headaches or jaw pain. And it's really from a thought pattern that's stuck in a loop that's very unconscious that you may not even realize you're doing. But you are aware of the physical pain that that tension in the muscles is causing. On a physical level, it's constricting the blood vessels and impeding blood flow and delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the muscles and the cells that need it. We're doing it based on what we're thinking and what we're feeling at an unconscious level. That goes the same with worry. Chronic worry and overthinking depletes the energetic flow to our digestive system. Our stomach can't break down the foods properly, and we get impaired digestion and bloating and gas, and really not stomach aches, not feeling well at all. And that can come from overwork and overuse, right? Lack of rest. How many people feel guilty for taking a break? These things are all rooted in our unconscious mind, in our belief systems that are either serving us or not serving us. And if you know me, I really like getting to the root cause of a problem. And I've noticed that those are the issues that really make the biggest difference. Do supplements, acupuncture, and other modalities help? Absolutely, they do. When you really want to resolve an issue, you got to get to the root of it. Otherwise, you're just going to constantly be treating it. Now, I really wanted you guys to have an experience with what I mean by this mind-body medicine and how, in actuality, by shifting what we're thinking about, what we're feeding our minds, right? So if you think about what's on social media, what's on the news, and we're focused on it, we're talking about it, we're talking to ourselves about it, and we're having an emotion attached to that. What are we actually doing to our bodies physically? Our ancestors would never have done something like that, right? It would have been what's in their immediate vicinity. They wouldn't know about the sufferings of problems across the world and be thinking about them while eating dinner, for example. Like that is a very unnatural situation. And we have two modes in the body. We've got fight or flight or rest and digest. And we're only in one mode or the other. And if we're talking about healing and repairing and growing, you want to be in the rest and digest phase or setting of the body. This is how we restore ourselves. When we're in fight or flight too often, this is breaking down and burning energy in the wrong way. Okay? Both are necessary. It's like the yin and the yang. We need both to be healthy, viable humans. However, the disharmony is when we're spending more time in one than the other. So my suggestion is always to take the time to become aware of what are you focusing on? What is the emotion that's kind of sticking around for you? And what have you done about it lately? And getting that energetic pattern unstuck. You can't get a different result doing exactly the same thing, right? That's the definition of insanity. And Albert Einstein is famous for saying, you can't solve a problem with the same consciousness or thinking that created it. So it requires a shift at the deepest level, the unconscious mind. And then everything easily and effortlessly gets propagated from there. Now, you want to play with me? Come on, play with me. All right. So I want you all to close your eyes. Just like that. Take a deep breath, put your feet flat on the floor, close your eyes, and go inward. And I want you to remember a specific time when you were just so ecstatic. Go back to that time now. That time you're just so excited, so ecstatic, just so much energy. Go back to that time now. You got it? That specific time? Okay, you got it. Now, as you're remembering that time, I want you to float down into your body. I want you to float into your body and look through your own eyes and see what you saw when you were so ecstatic. Just see what you saw when you were so ecstatic and hear what you heard when you felt that ecstatic feeling. And I want you to feel that feeling of being ecstatic and feel it now. And remember, go back to that time and see what you saw and hear what you heard and feel what you felt when you were just so ecstatic. Feel that feeling. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. All right. Now, open your eyes. What's different? Notice the sensation in your body. Is there tingling? Where do you feel the energy? How is it different than it was before? Who did that? You did. You created chemistry in your body based on what you were focusing on in the mind. Now that you're aware of it, congratulations. What to do next? I invite you to have a conversation. Let's reactivate your healing journey. I'm offering completely free complimentary meetings virtually with me right now. Be on my schedule. Use the link that's attached to this email and book a time with me. And let's just talk about your health goals and reset them, and figure out where you're going. Let's figure out where you are now and where you're going, and let's close the gap. Guys, I'm super excited that you watched this video, and I'm hoping that you'll follow me for more. I'd love to stay connected. And until next time, stay well. Bye for now.